Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Libra and crimes, and yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, I'm going to be talking about the crimes, I believe. The zodiac sign Libra can have a strong propensity to commit, and anyway, well, the first thing I'll look at as far as Libra goes is that vigilantism, I think, could be a very strong one. It could be about one taking the law into their own hands, so to speak. I think what's interesting, I don't know how many of you saw this. I believe the name of the movie was Falling Down, and Michael Douglas was a star in the movie, and he played a vigilante that, well, he took this vigilantism to a very extreme level in the movie. His sun sign is Libra, and I thought it was interesting that he played that, and I think it kind of can show if in a Libra, in a very strong negative expression or manifestation, a very nefarious expression as well, what one could resort to if they're out to commit a very heinous crime. That could very well, it could be connected with that. I mean, I think too, Libra is really the crimes Libra can have a strong propensity to commit can be ones that are connected with marriage. I mean, Libra is very relationship oriented. I could see failure to pay alimony payments. It could be what I would call a fraudulent marriage, one where one may marry to establish some kind of citizenship in another country. It might be in order to, for example, to pay less taxes. Perhaps things connected to maybe polygamy or bigamy could be another example. This is also what I see Libra with as far as crimes. I see them as far as maybe ones connected with business partnerships. It could be maybe in some cases you might see Libra in a situation where maybe they're taking more than their fair share in terms of resources from that business partnership. They can be maybe a situation where they're in a corrupt business partnerships, and is another example. Libra, really what they're about, I mean, Libra is a sign, of course, connected with equilibrium and fairness, and they like to be equitable. They like to have things fair. However, what I see Libra doing as well, if they feel like, say they're in a court situation or scenario, and they feel they didn't get the better end of it for some reason, well, that could be one of those things where they may go out and seek justice themselves. If they really feel, or at least they've convinced themselves that the court process didn't handle things in the way, or I should say, the decision was not just or fair, and they were on the short end of it, well, they may go out maybe, and it could be seeking some kind of retribution because of this. And also, the things that I could see Libra doing as well, it could be crimes connected with people that are affiliated with the law, or I should say professions associated with the law. I mean, it could be, in some extreme isolated cases, impersonating a police officer. Another example could be getting some kind of bogus license, attorney license, or to practice law. I mean, there are things that it seems like to me that the crimes Libra would commit are really that they're just connected with something with the legal system in many cases. And Libra could be one of those people that go out and want to kind of like taking from the rich and giving to the poor kind of thing, doing things that they feel are going to set have the balance even. They're about balance. They're about equilibrium. And I think another thing I see Libra doing, and this is not generally going to be a crime punishable by law, but what I consider a crime could be a crime in its own way, because it's something that could be somewhat nefarious and something where you're doing something and you know it's wrong. And it's something what Libra it could be a master at doing is causing dissension among others. And what Libra can be a master at reconciliation and getting, say, mutual friends that are in an argument to reconcile. But at the same time, they can also be a master at causing discord and dissension between others. And whether it's because they're angry at one or both people or whatever their incentive they have or that motivation, Libra can really, they have a very good way of being able to do this. And the thing too is I want to get back to marriage, perhaps some other marriage crimes. It could be spousal abuse, perhaps sex that's non-consensual at one time, like would be rape, their spouse. That could be another example. And it could even be stealing maybe from their marriage partner. It could be some kind of corrupt action that they take against this marriage partner that they have, and really, while Libra justifies and rationalizes a lot of this is through the fact that they'll say to themselves, I think in many instances, well, this simply isn't fair. And if something is not fair to Libra, then they may go out and try to make it fair, and they'll find some way to rationalize it. They're about their own brand of justice in many cases. And I think also another thing connected with Libra, a crime would be maybe falsifying, maybe bringing, for example, bringing somebody to court on a falsified charge on something that this person didn't even do to them, just to bring them to court, just to show their own brand of justice. Because I think a lot of these Libra crimes, I stated before, are somehow connected with the legal system and what they believe is fair and what is right. And Libra, as I stated before, they'll often find some way to rationalize or justify something to make things fair in their mind, whether it actually is or not. I mean, Libra can go as far as to publicly demoralize or humiliate someone, maybe because they feel in their mind they've been done wrong, and regardless of whatever had transpired before, even if it was something that wasn't really that bad that happened to them, Libra will find a way to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do to them or to this person because they hurt me in such a such way. Libra can be like, well, you know, this person did this to me. They defaced my my front door. Well, I'm going to go scratch their car. It's kind of that kind of thing that Libra can do. And it's not really like with Scorpio. Their crimes are often connected with vengeance and really strongly seeking retribution. But what Libra is, they look at it like, well, this person did this to me. I'll just do something to them. In some cases, it may be something a lot stronger than what was done to them, but in a lot of cases, too, I think it's something of near equal value, so to speak. So, and also keep in mind, the crimes that Libra commit, I would say, given the fact that Libras are generally very peaceful people, they're generally non-confrontational, they are they're not generally going to be involved in a crime of a volatile nature. They're generally non-combative. So it's going to be something which is not often going to be connected with something of an aggressive nature. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Libra crimes. Stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about Scorpio crimes. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.